Spurgeon here with RevZilla, and today we're going to take a look at the AGV Sport Atom Jacket, available at RevZilla.com. So, new from AGV Sport, we're seeing the Atom. This is going to come in underneath the Misano in their race line of leathers. Around the $300 price point, this is actually around $40, $50 cheaper than what we're seeing the Misano. So one of the things I will note is that we're going to see some of the pieces working through here that are actually more of a refinement over what we've seen from the Misano, stuff that I actually like better for a little bit less money. So what we're going to talk about first is sizing from this, because the size chart is more than a bit off. High-vis Brian on the left-hand side, he stands at 6 foot tall, he weighs in 195 pounds, and he measures his chest at 42 inches. According to AGV Sports size chart, our friend Brian here should be in a size small. Not so. We've actually bumped him up 2 full sizes. We have him in a large, and you're going to see this is going to give him that nice race cut, but just keep that in mind for you as well at home. If you are looking at this, you're considering the jacket, you're going to want to go up 2 sizes from what the AGV Sports size chart is going to recommend for you. Now, 3 different colors are available. There is a black version, a black-white version, and then we have High-Vis Brian in the black and red colorway with this. So again, 3 different colors to choose from with this, and like I said earlier, within AGV Sports line, this is going to be that leather race option that's now sitting in just below the Misano, but really at that $300 price point, what we're seeing are some of the creature comforts that are a little bit more refined on this than what we've seen from the Misano. So let's start breaking this down. So you have full leather construction throughout, 1 to 1.2 mil grade cowhide, and then you're going to see starting at the top, AGV Sport is now going to be stitched into the band collar. And as we work our way down, one of the refinements that I really like with this over the Misano is how they've now integrated the shoulder caps a little bit better, but there's a little bit less titanium than what we're seeing in the Misano. A little bit of venting kind of worked into the plastic there, and you are still getting CE level protection in the shoulders as well as the elbows. And as we work our way down, you'll notice they've refined the stretch material on the inner arm, and then you're getting a little bit of venting on the exterior arm as well. One of the things you'll note that is different than Misano is that this is kind of a patchwork quilt of leather. So where you're seeing a little more solid refinement from the Misano with single layers of leather, you're having multiple layers of leather kind of playing onto itself here. And then the perforation scheme, it's a little bit of a larger perf that we're seeing baked into the Atom Jacket. Working our way down, you do have a Velcro closure at the wrist, and then there is going to be a zip entry behind that. You'll notice full zip entry without any kind of a gusset behind there. I actually am a fan of that. I like to kind of push the sleeves back a little bit, so I like the fact that they've done that without that gusset underneath the back of this. The other thing you'll note is just kind of looking right here, they've actually now sewn the AGV Sport into the leather. Where on the Misano, it was just a patch that was going to be kind of stitched on. Now they've now gone ahead and they've stitched that AGV Sport into the leather itself. Working our way down the chest, you'll notice AGV Sport again stitched across the chest on this. It is going to be massive amounts of perforation. This is going to be for that 2-season hot weather rider. You could use this from the spring, all summer long, and then into the fall months. As it begins to get a little bit cooler though, you're going to want to put something underneath there to kind of layer up, or you want to switch to a different jacket. A little bit of reflectivity, kind of working its way down both sides, symmetrically coming down, and then you do have hand warmer pockets on either side as well. Brian, go ahead and face sideways for me, strike the rider position. So like I said earlier, you will notice some perf on the exterior of the arm. You'll also notice they've actually extended the accordion stretch in the back of the arm, works all the way up the shoulder blade now, so you actually get a little bit better range of motion than we saw with the Misano. So if you're in that full tuck race position, maximum comfort and flexibility there, and you do have adjustability at the waist with a Velcro adjuster. Brian, you can go ahead and face backwards for me. On the back of this, you now have a full race hump. Misano gave you a smaller sport hump. You are now getting the full race hump with this, so if you want to use this as a 2-piece tracksuit, you can match this up with a pair of AGV pants. And then as we work our way down, you will notice that there is going to be exhaust vents down the back, and they actually do a very good job of tucking this zipper down there. But if you want to, you're not going to notice any perforation in the leather on the back of the jacket, but all that air that's coming through from the front with that massive amount of perforation has a place to go with the exhaust vents that you're going to see on the back. And then again, AGV Sport is going to be done stitched into the base of the jacket. We talked about the fact that you have CE rated armor in the elbows and the shoulders. The back pad in this is just that. It is a back pad. You're going to go ahead and pull that out and get rid of it, and you want to upgrade that to the full-on back protector. Any kind of a Knox TP2 style back protector will work perfectly for this. So quick final note to the back of this, I kind of failed to mention it when we were talking about the full race hump, is that the back of the neck is done in a neoprene, which is super comfortable if you're in more of that full tuck position and you have that pressure kind of pushing against the back of your neck. It's going to work very nicely to keep the back of your neck comfortable, especially in warmer situations. Brian, my friend, I'm going to have you spin forward, unzip for me. There's a little Velcro tab at the top there. You want to pull it down. One of the things I like is they've done a nice job of making sure there's no exposed snaps or zippers at the bottom of this, and then you do have that kind of just gusset working behind there. Not really anything that's going to be functional in this standpoint because it's not a waterproof jacket, and you do have that vent. And then if we open up the inside, what you will notice is that you do have that thermal liner. This is going to be just a thermal vest, which will help to keep some of that wind down. But again, very light thermal. I wouldn't push this really too far into the colder months of the year. Pulling that out though, you do have that mesh interior with this, which is going to maximize your airflow within those warmer months of the year itself. Brian, you can go ahead and zip up for me. So again, for those of you out there looking for an option within AGV Sports lineup, maybe you're looking for the top half of a two-piece tracksuit, this is going to be a new option for you to consider around the $300 price point. And honestly, one of the things that I really kind of find interesting about this is it actually kind of bakes a lot of the DNA of the Misano into this while addressing some of the issues that we had, especially considering the shoulder sliders that we weren't too big fans of when it came to Misano. So I'm interested to see what AGV Sports planning on doing with the Misano to kind of address all the changes that they've made with the Atom. So for those of you out there that like this jacket, you're considering this jacket, maybe you want a little bit more info on this jacket from some of the other riders out there that are already using it, you can always click the info button on your desktop or mobile device, which will allow you to read other rider reviews from folks that are already out there putting the AGV Sport Atom Jacket through its paces. If you have more questions from one of our gear geeks as to which AGV Sport Jacket is right for you, your bike, your style of riding, you can always give them a shout, 877-792-9455, or simply shoot over an email to cs@revzilla.com. Thank you for joining us for this look at the AGV Sport Atom Jacket. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.